Hi, friends. It's my Tuesday meeting with Nick. Today's the
And
one
Willow.
and Willow. Yeah, in case you didn't see her beautiful head.
Her little neck rolls.
I know. I'm trying not to like want to just kiss the computer right there. Kiss it. Um, but yes. Okay. So Nick and Willow are joining me today, and it's our Tuesday meeting with Nick. And today's the one in which we discuss the great Gait debate. So I'm here with Nick, because Nick and I have been having these discussions about how to simplify foot health. We've been having these conversations every week for probably 4 years now, approximately. And this is one I wanted to revisit because before we pressed record, I was saying that over the last year, since we have like opened our Kajabi community and there's so many great conversations around natural footwear, shoe brands, and all this, I realized that I just want to be barefoot or have a little sliver of a sock shoe on my feet. And I looked up the definition of gait, and it's the manner in which a human walks, which I was saying to Nick, like, so mannerisms are as unique to the individual as any mannerisms that we have. Walking is the same. It's a historic account of all of the movements that we've had our entire lives. And so my question for Nick is like, why are we making it overly complex about gait? Like, why do we want to be analyzed with our gait so much? And so we've been talking about this. Thought it would be helpful to have others hear about our conversation as well.
So kind of like a parallel um, where nutrition overcomplexified an immensely simple topic, which is food. And I think in the old legacy world of disease care, nutrition is the science of what to eat. And in the new world where it's about health, it's like just to understand the basics of food. And then you're free to do things a bunch of different ways. As long as you understand principles of food, you're good. And to me, the way I've always thought about like the gait analysis, I understand where it comes from and why it's done and where it probably had all the best intentions. The problem is that gait is an output. How you move is an output. And it's an output of all the inputs you've given your body through your whole life and restrictions you've developed and imbalances you've developed. And so I find that we spend so much time and money over analyzing the output. When in reality, if we just start giving our bodies better inputs and go for a walk, you will get a more natural output. And my favorite saying when it comes to gait is form follows function. How you walk is the combination of movement capacity and stability that you have at every joint in your body, at least in the lower body. And I think we just spent the time that we spend over analyzing the output, and we took that time and energy and money and spent it on offering our bodies better inputs, we are automatically going to be moving towards a more natural, quote unquote, better gait pattern. And so it's not about over focusing on how you currently walk. It's about offering your joints more natural inputs and actually removing the unnatural inputs and just trusting that the body is going to adapt based on those new inputs you're giving it to bring you towards a more natural, efficient gait pattern. And so literally one of the most transformative things someone can do if they're used to a very unnatural shoe is go to a natural shoe and go for a 30-minute walk every day. Because that's going to improve your gait more than any professional giving you targeted exercise ever will. Because the complex adaptations that are happening with every step once you give your body better inputs is going to yield better inputs. I can say that with certainty, knowing that the body adapts to what we expose it to. So I think we just over complexify gait as a way to reinforce the need for professionals who deeply understand gait. But we just overcomplicate it and we over focus on the output when really what we should care about is focusing on the inputs and knowing that it's automatically going to give better outputs if we understand the set principle. So it's like form follows function, focus on inputs, you'll get better outputs. That's my thoughts on gait.
Can I ask one question?
Please do.
So let's say someone comes to you after 6 months of getting a pair of natural shoes and going for a 30-minute walk, and they're still having pain or issues? Because I'm assuming that people who want their gait looked at and that have come to some crossroads where something might not be working. I'm talking about people in our community, right? So they've been maybe like, they've done the Explorer Trek or whatever, and then they're just like, well, it's not, I don't feel like, I still feel like I'm in pain in my hip or in my knee or in my foot. And the natural shoes and the walk isn't helping. Like, so to me, there's like some investigative work that hasn't been done there, right? Like, what would you say to that person?
I think moving with pain is not natural, right? Like the default natural state of humans is to move pain-free. So if the output, which is your movement pattern, is creating pain, there must be some unnatural input that is yielding that unnatural output. So what I would ask that person is, number one, congratulations on going to natural footwear and committing to a daily walk, because that's giving you way more benefit than you probably appreciate. And before I even get into the specifics of like, where's the pain, how intense is it, how is it trended over time, what triggers it, how long does it take to settle, like all those questions I think are valid. But even before that, I would say, what other inputs are you giving your body that could potentially be creating the unnatural output of pain when walking? Because almost always it has to do with sitting. And until you resolve that, until you resolve and remove whatever unnatural input is getting in the way of you having a natural gait pattern, it doesn't matter how much we analyze how poorly. It's almost like someone's constantly driving into a ditch, right? And the gait analysis route is, well, let's analyze exactly how you got into the ditch. What angle did you go at? How much damage is there? It's like the more productive thing is just like, what's causing you to constantly veer off the road and go into the ditch? And is it something you don't even know you're doing, right? And the chair sitting for, 6+ hours a day is often the equivalent of the thing that's bringing you into the ditch. And it doesn't matter how much we analyze the accident or the problem, we need to address what's causing you to go off the path, because it's not natural for the body to experience pain when moving. And so if we accept that, well, it's not natural to experience pain when moving, I'm doing something unnatural to my body to create this, I just haven't figured it out yet. And so really diving into what unnatural input are you giving your body to create this unnatural output. And if you solve shoes and sitting, those are the two big ones. And then it's just like looking at, how do your ankles move? How do your hips move? Because of those two joints, if there's a block of those two joints, it's going to actually be a roadblock to adopting a natural pain-free gait pattern. So hierarchically, it's like, are you wearing natural footwear and are you actually moving? Like going on a walk is very underestimated. What unnatural input, like are you running in built up shoes and running too much? Are you overtraining? Are you spending too much time in a fixed position, usually sitting? Like once you check these, you're inevitably going to find something that's like, oh yeah, I am doing that. How can I solve that? How can I improve that input? And then walking actually becomes your assessment, right? It's like, how do I feel after a walk? How do I feel during a walk? How is how I feel during that walk changing as I'm changing these inputs? And so the walk is almost like your report card. How do you feel during and after? And how is that changing over time as you tweak some of the inputs that you're giving your body? And how do you go down the checklist and eliminate all the unnatural inputs that might be creating this unnatural output, which is discomfort when walking?
That sounds great. Thanks for listening.
Thanks
I
for
don't have
listening.
any other questions, and I appreciate you taking the time.
You're welcome.